Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today, we take a look at not my OnePlus 9 Pro. This camera that I'm using right now is the front camera on the MotoGPower, and this is the 1 year review. A little over a year, 1 year actually, but this is a full year with the MotoGPower, which I do use nearly every day. So, if you guys remember, I bought this for 200 bucks back in April of 2020 to replace my Moto G7, which I'd had for a year, that I bought in 2019. Now, I purchased a lot of devices on Google Fi because this phone will be it's being used on my Google Fi account. So sometimes I'll buy other devices on my Google Fi account if they offer a really good deal, and that's what I did with the Google Pixel 4a 5G. I got it there instead of buying it direct through Google. Same thing. It's still great though. Now, the MotoGPower, 1 year, one full completed year of ownership. How do I feel about it? Tons of things are running through my mind right now. So first of all, if I'm being honest, I've completely forgotten about the specs of this device. I just know that it's been in this UAG case that I purchased. And mind you, remember this is the front camera on the MotoGPower for this video. I bought this UAG case right here back when I first bought the phone, and I got it for like 15 bucks. Right now, I think this case is like 35 to 40 bucks because when it first came out, they were running so many promos. You know, it somehow it snuck past, and Best Buy was selling it for $15 because they thought it wouldn't work with the MotoGPower or something. I don't know. Nonetheless, it lives in this case. So as a consumer, I hope that if you bought this phone a year ago, you bought a case and you stuck with it, because I know this is what consumers do. Yes, I'm reviewing this device. However, I'm the consumer talking now, because we're a year into ownership of this phone, and I've definitely had some good times with this phone. So let's start with the battery life. The battery life on this phone is just absolutely great in my opinion. It has a huge battery. I believe it's 5,000. I don't even remember. Again, when I buy something, I just use it. So we're gonna look it up real time right now. 5,000. That's what I thought, because I remember comparing this to my V60, which has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and this phone grabbed 16 hours of screen on time and about 3 days of use. So 6.4 inch 1080p display, just 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Snapdragon 665 is inside. That's what I wanted to tell you, with 4 gigs of RAM. And you know, all those specs aside, folks, all those specs aside, this has been one of the best experiences that I've had with the Moto line. Now, if you notice, I didn't bring in the 2021 lineup of the Moto line. It's because some things, like this phone is a phone, and even when I'm doing this video review with the phone or for recording it, this phone is a phone that's for function for me. It's for business. I'm using this predominantly for phone calls. Now, I do social media, and I do take photos, and I do a lot of that. But predominantly, my Google Fi lines that I have, they actually get used for tons and tons of phone calls. But when I am using it for social media, most of the time I'll have like my earphones in at that point, because this phone does have a headphone jack. I'll have some earphones in or something at one point, and then I'll get on Twitter or Instagram, or I'll look at web page browsers while I'm on the phone. I frequently do that. And so that's how I'm working this battery and working this phone, and it's just lasting and lasting and lasting and lasting and lasting. It is doing fantastic. Now, most phones today, when it comes to the cameras, can pretty much perform. But we're talking about a phone from a year ago. This front camera, as I look through the viewfinder, looks great on the viewfinder, I gotta admit. But most cameras in the last year or two, they all should be able to produce good footage like this. They should, and if they can't, something's wrong. You should be able to fire up your phone, and you should be able to shoot a video or take a photo with no problem in auto. You shouldn't have to go to pro mode if you don't want to, because the 99% of the world, they do not open up pro mode and start programming their phone. Pro is thrown around way too much anyway, but I want to say that if in fact you bought this phone for the cameras, you are going to be fine. I mean, I'm using the phone right now to record this. Let me take a photo so you can see. I mean, you know it's not my Sigma. You know it's not. So I'm gonna take a photo here of the camera. There it is. You can see all of the. All right. There it is. You see the ring light and all that stuff. That's it. Got it on a tripod. But if you buy this phone for the cameras, you're gonna be pleased. You'll be totally happy with it because photos, all the footage, everything comes out fantastic with this phone. Now the fact that it has a headphone jack, that's really important. So we've checked off a few boxes already. Great battery. It's got a headphone jack. The cameras are great. The screen. 1080p screens. We don't need 90 hertz. We don't need all of that. Some people think we do, but we really don't. People have tried to argue that with me all day. It's 2020. It's supposed to be at least a 90 hertz. Yeah, no. So, and I'm not saying that just because this phone doesn't have one. That's not the purpose of me saying that. I'm just saying if you follow the hype train, you're going to think you need a 90 hertz display. But battery life, screen, performance from the processor is really good. Headphone jack, cameras, everything about this thing is really, really solid. So how do you review a phone that's a year old? You just keep using it. I plan on using this device until it flat out breaks, just like my G7. And if I'm being honest, if my G7 had not broken, if I hadn't dropped my G7, it slid off my lap like less than 3 feet from the ground and it just shattered on the back. If that hadn't have happened, it would still be right here, right now. And this will be a 2-year review on the Moto G7. So what don't I like about this phone? And then we'll talk about price and what I paid and what you could actually get it for now. I don't like the hardware. The hardware, while it's a little on the thicker side, but that's okay because it's compensated with a big battery, hoping that's why it's so thick. And then also the black color. I'm not a fan of the black color, which is why it stays in this case. The phone looks filthy after just touching it for a little bit of time. So, yeah, I don't really feel the need to. I wish they would if they're going to make a black phone, make it a matte black. That would be great. Even if it's plastic, it doesn't have to be glass. You can still do a matte. Or just give some texture. Even if it's not matte, give some texture on the back. I do not like this glossy black, and I don't really care for the hardware too much. But other than that, when I push the phone really hard, it performs. Yeah, it's okay. So for all you techies out there, because I know some of you might ask, it is on the January 2021 security patch, I believe it is. So it's got a lot of updates over the year, but I don't care if it gets an update or not because I told you what I'm using this phone for. Social media, web browsing, tons of phone calls. I mean, a boatload of them. When I first got the phone, I was more heavy with really in like that review phase for the first 2 months or whatever, like really going all these boxes and giving feedback. I did a 3-month and a 6-month, and now we're at a year. So if you have this phone, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you don't go out and spend more money because money-wise, again, if I didn't say it yet, I paid $200 for this, and now it's $49. Even the stylus version of this phone is $99, opposed to the higher pricing. So the retail of this when it first came out was $249, and I bought it for $200. And at that time, I thought it was a great deal. But now it's $49. That's a steal, folks. I could easily grab 3 or 4 of these and give them away. Not doing that, but I think if you want to get one, there's a Fi link down below. I tapped out on Google Fi, if I'm going to be honest. They won't give me any more credits for referrals. I think that's kind of jacked up. I think that's totally messed up, but I've referred so many people with that link down below. And once my account got to like $1,000 in credits or something, they cut it off. Like, those credits ran out a long time ago. But well, I think I didn't have service. I think I didn't pay for service for at least, I've had Google Fi for 5 years or 6 years or something like that. And over half of that, I didn't pay a bill because I had done so many referrals. So I think it's kind of cool that they tapped me out on referrals, but you in fact still can get a credit on there. I don't get one though, but you take advantage of that credit and try it for a month. The phone is $49, folks. buy the phone, pay the 49 bucks. You're going to pay 1 month up front to get the service going. That next month will be your free month. And then after that, you know what I'm saying? 2 months, do whatever you want to do. Read the fine print on things. I'm not going to do all your research for you. Read the fine print and enjoy your phone. Now I'm going to pop my phone back in my case because I don't want to break this one like I did the G7. This phone is going to be here unless I decide to sell it and something just really sparks a nerve. But I don't plan on buying anything else for this particular phone number. I'm just gonna roll with this. Now, after all of this, what do you guys think about the way this phone recorded this very long video? It's your man Jay, 1 year, 13 months. I'm in May. What do you think about keeping a phone for a very long time? Hopefully there's some consumers out there that hold on to their devices and don't just switch them out because they're watching YouTube videos. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.